Good afternoon, I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. Thank you for joining me on this Monday, August 25th. Two Corpus Christi City Council votes tied to the Inner Harbor Water Treatment Campus have been rescheduled for September 2nd. The items were originally on tomorrow's agenda. One vote was to be for a contract amendment to continue design work through the 60% milestone and develop a guaranteed maximum price. The other item involves accepting the second round of funding from the Texas Water Development Board through the State Water Implementation Fund for Texas Low Interest Loan Program. Deadline to approve the next SWIFT loan portion is September 5th. Last month, council members had requested clarification from TWDB about the use of loan funds. The agency responded August 8th, and city staff submitted additional follow-up questions last Monday. Officials said the delay allows council more time to review those responses. Meanwhile, smaller cities in San Patricio County are researching alternative water sources as Corpus Christi considers moving forward with the Evangeline groundwater project. The proposed plan would draw water from the Evangeline aquifer in San Patricio County. Odom Mayor David Maldonado expressed concerns to KIII News about the impact on surrounding towns that currently get their water from Corpus Christi.
If Corpus moves forward with what they're planning, we're all going to be affected. We do have to start at least researching what other options we may have.
Maldonado said Odom plans to stand with other communities in opposition to the Evangeline groundwater project. Mathis City Manager Cedric Davis said they began researching secondary water sources about a year ago and are now making progress on an emergency water well project. As part of this project, 2 wells will be built on Lake Corpus Christi State Park land. SpaceX canceled their 10th flight test of the Starship rocket out of Boca Chica yesterday. The flight test was originally scheduled with the launch window opening at 6:30 p.m. The window was then pushed back to 6:50 p.m. before it was completely canceled. According to a SpaceX post on the social media platform X, the cancellation was to allow them time to troubleshoot an issue with ground systems. SpaceX will attempt to launch again tonight. A large brush fire that started at Padre Island National Seashore Friday night is at 70% containment, according to fire officials. The brush fire has burned around 3,000 acres about 3 miles south of the Malachite Visitor Center, with several large unburned areas still within the perimeter. Officials confirmed that the fire was started by a lightning strike late Friday afternoon, and that park rangers were aware and agreed with the decision to let it burn. There continues to be no threat to the public or structures. No closures to roads, beaches, or other visitor facilities are currently in place. In state news, Texas is a signature away from having its nearly drawn congressional map in effect. State lawmakers debated into the weekend before passing the bill. As drawn, the new maps give Republicans an edge in 5 districts that were held by Democrats. The Texas Newsroom's Blaze Gainey has the details on what's next.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has signaled that he will sign the new maps into law. It comes after President Trump called on the state to redistrict last month, but state Democrats say the maps are illegal. Senator Boris Miles of Houston says they racially gerrymander in the ethnically diverse city of Houston, where he says some communities have been bunched together with others broken apart to dilute their voting power. He says he doesn't accept Republican denials that race was not a factor.
I want you to know I thoroughly disagree with you because Congressional District 18 is more than packed. Senate District 18, Senate District 9 was cracked.
Texas' new districts are likely to be highlighted during a potential court challenge. For the Texas Newsroom, I'm Blaze Gainey in Austin.
A new lawsuit was filed just hours after the Texas Senate approved the new congressional map. Texas Public Radio's Jerry Clayton has more.
Lawmakers approved the map on Saturday in the early morning hours. The new map heavily favors Republicans and was pushed by the Trump administration to shore up Republican ranks in Congress for the approaching midterm elections. The lawsuit was filed against Governor Greg Abbott and Secretary of State Jane Nelson on behalf of 13 Texas residents collectively called the Gonzales plaintiffs. The suit claims the redrawn map is racially discriminatory and also argues that the redrawing of congressional maps before the next census is unconstitutional. The map was pushed through by Republicans after a lengthy battle which saw Democrats at one point fleeing the state to break quorum. I'm Jerry Clayton in San Antonio.
A week from today, on Labor Day, hundreds of new Texas laws go into effect, more than 830 to be exact, all passed by the Texas legislature. That includes Senate Bill 922, a measure that aims to help patients better understand the results of sensitive medical tests. KERA's Andy Lusk has more on what the bipartisan legislation will do.
The new law delays the release of certain medical test results for up to 3 days, giving doctors a chance to better explain things to patients. Previously, potentially life-changing results, think cancer and genetic diseases, were released electronically to Texas patients as soon as possible. According to the Texas Medical Association, this meant patients received confusing information without immediate guidance. Dallas oncologist David Gerber said the old system sometimes left patients alone with big news, like seeing results on their phones during weddings or right before job interviews. Gerber said supporters of the change don't want to withhold information, just deliver it in the best way possible. I'm Andy Lusk in Dallas.
For the first time in decades, a case of the deadly New World screwworm has been confirmed in a human in the United States. Texas Public Radio's David Martin Davies has more.
Health officials say the patient became infected after traveling in Central America and was diagnosed after returning home to the U.S. Reuters reports the patient received medical treatment in Maryland. The screwworm is a flesh-eating parasite that lays eggs in open wounds. The larvae can cause severe tissue damage, even death, if untreated. The discovery is raising alarms because the screwworm was eradicated in the U.S. in the 1960s after a massive government program. Beyond the danger to people, the parasite is a major threat to livestock. Texas ranchers still remember the enormous losses before eradication. Screwworms attacked cattle, costing the industry millions of dollars each year. USDA is now ramping up an aggressive program to fight the spread of screwworm. I'm David Martin Davies in San Antonio.
Cameron County's plan to build a new pedestrian walkway at Gateway International Bridge in downtown Brownsville now has a presidential permit issued for the project, separate from a $133 million federal modernization project for Gateway Bridge, soon to begin. The $10 million county project involves construction of a separate 2-lane pedestrian walkway just west of the existing bridge. County Administrator Pete Sepulveda Jr. told the Brownsville Herald the county's walkway project should take about 3 years to complete. Jim Wells County voters will decide whether to update a nearly century-old animal ordinance that limits law enforcement's ability to address livestock and exotic animals roaming on roads and private property. This past Friday, county commissioners approved placing the measure on the November 4th ballot after Sheriff Guy Baker presented concerns about the 1929 law.
It's a major concern for not only those people that their property is being damaged by these animals, but in my view, it's a very huge concern for road safety.
That was Baker speaking with KRAS News. The existing ordinance only covers cattle, horses, and mules, leaving deputies unable to enforce violations involving other animals not present in the county when the law was enacted. Under current law, property owners who don't own the animals would need to build fences around their own property to keep other people's animals out. Even in cases of fatal car accidents involving loose animals, law enforcement cannot issue citations or fines. The Victoria County Animal Services reports that while the number of loose dog incidents has declined, the problem remains in areas like the Crossroads. Director Mark Sloat spoke to 25 News Now and urged community members not to attempt to capture these animals on their own.
To understand that, we don't want to handle these animals because you don't know them, you don't know if they're vaccinated, you don't know what their behavior is like. We don't want people getting bit, and we don't want animals getting hurt because somebody's trying to capture them or chases them into a roadway or something.
Sloat recommends using non-contact methods such as pepper spray if encountering a loose or stray dog, and reporting the sighting to Animal Services immediately. He also encourages dog owners to spay or neuter their pets as a way to reduce the number of roaming loose dogs. Construction is set to begin next month on a new fire station in Kingsville, the city's first in nearly 70 years. The new fire station number 3 will be located at the corner of General Cavazos Boulevard and 6th Street. Kingsville Fire Chief Juan Adame told KRAS News the project is long overdue as the last station they built in the city was in 1955. The new 14,000 square foot facility will feature a 2-bay station capable of housing up to 4 emergency vehicles. The location is also expected to dramatically cut response times. Tomorrow, the Del Mar College Board of Regents will hold public hearings on the adoption of the budget and tax rate beginning at 11:30 a.m. and noon, respectively. A called meeting is also scheduled to begin at 12:30 p.m. and an audit committee meeting at 1:15 p.m. It will all be held in room 106 of the college's Center for Economic Development at 3209 South Staples. All of these events will be live streamed and can be accessed by going online to delmar.edu/webcast. The Port of Corpus Christi recently kicked off its series of public tours of the port's administration office at 400 Charles Zahn Jr. Drive. The complimentary guided tours will be offered on the third Wednesday of each month at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Tours will include an overview presentation followed by a walkthrough of the administration facilities. Capacity will be limited to 15 attendees, according to the port. For more information, you can contact the port's Community Relations Office at community@pocca.com. In sports, Jordan Alvarez and Luis Baez teamed for 7 RBIs yesterday afternoon as the Hooks knocked off Frisco 12-5 in front of nearly 4,000 fans at Whataburger Field. Alonzo Treadwell picked up his second Double-A win by spending 5 innings of 2-run ball. The Hooks next hit the road this week for a series against the Tulsa Drillers. And the Texas A&M Corpus Christi soccer team earned its first win of the season in style last night to dispatch fellow system school Texas A&M San Antonio 6-0. The Islanders started quickly blitzing the Jaguars just 1 minute and 1 second into the match when sophomore Celia Leal received a pass from redshirt senior Madison Page and scored just inside the box for her first goal of the year. It would be Leal's first of 2 for the night. The Islanders next head to Huntsville this Thursday for a clash with Sam Houston State. And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.